Welcome to Espresso Yourself, Mom, Teacher, and Runner Talk, the podcast where lesson plans meet lattes and long runs.
We're four women juggling the journey of motherhood, teaching personal goals, and a whole lot of caffeine.
Here, we keep it real, the messy, the meaningful, and the moments in between.
So grab your coffee and join us for honest conversations, a few laughs, and a reminder that you're not in this alone.
Welcome back to Espresso Yourself. This week, we are going to keep it a little bit more lighthearted. We know the last couple episodes have been a little bit harder for some of our listeners and really emotional. So we wanted to change paces a little bit and bring some light to the podcast. But before we do that, let's do a little bit of catch up on how everybody's week has been. Becky, I know you did some traveling. Do you want to share a little bit about your week?
Yeah, so every year there is a music worship conference, which is basically like church worship leaders go to this conference every year. They have multiple every year, but the one that my church from up north goes to is in Orlando, and that is a 2 to 2.5 hour drive from my house. And so for the last few years, they've been like, Becky, we're down in Orlando. That's close to you. So why don't you just drive on over and then come see us, come hang out, be a part of the conference? And so 3 years ago, I went right after school. I drove over to Orlando, and after school, it's probably a 3 hour drive, but I made it there. It was a surprise. No one knew I was coming. Stayed just for that evening, like big concert session. And then I went out to eat with them, and I think I got home at 2:30 or 3 in the morning. And I thought, and I went to work the next day. It was rough. And then the next year we had a hurricane or a tropical storm or something where I was off of school and they were like, Becky, we're here. Come on over. So I was like, oh, well, I don't have school. Like, it's just a tropical storm. So it's just raining. So I left at 6 in the morning and then I came home probably at midnight. And then last year I was traveling a lot because my dad was sick. So I traveled once a month to go see him. And I felt like it was too much for me to miss school to go to this conference. So I skipped it. But this year I went after school on Wednesday. I made it there probably by 6:30 and I got to stay overnight. They found me a room to stay in with other people that they were traveling with. And then I spent the entire next day with them. And I got home at 11:30. But the amount of music that I got to listen to of artists that I've heard so many times on the radio and have sung in church and the small group sessions that we got to go to, there was like a Q&A with an artist that I have been listening to on the radio for a long time. My husband and my kids, they love the song. They sing it on, this like famous song on the radio. And just to be in a room with an artist that, is making albums, but is just still a regular person was so cool. And I got to meet this other artist that has written so many songs that if you're a churchgoer, then you know him. And I got to spend time with my people. I love living down here. I love the weather. I love my school. I love the new friends that I've made. But like, there's something about being with your people that you are with for so long and just being able to connect with them. Sometimes I'm like, I need a day off of school and I just need that break. I didn't need that this year because I have this refresh in teaching, but at the same time, I'm like, this is awesome to be able to take a Thursday off of school and drive a couple of hours to Orlando. And even though we didn't go to Disney, it's still the happiest place on earth and you still feel so awesome when you're there. You don't know when you need something and then you get it and you're like, oh yeah, no, I really did need this. I needed this break to recharge and connect. And the music was just incredible. And I also had commented on my stories how in my last district, it was unheard of to just take a day off to go do something like this. But here, they don't ask, you don't tell. You just take the day off. There have been people that have gone on vacations for a whole week here, and it's fine, you know? But it just was so great. I was still very tired on Friday, but it was worth it and just amazing and just filled me up so much.
That's
That's
awesome.
exciting.
Yeah,
No, I saw your
Yeah,
stuff and I was like, "Oh, it looks like she's having fun."
it was awesome. Oh my gosh, it was so good.
Um, Nothing's really going on with us. Just getting ready for our next training. I mean, just ran run club, like nothing. I guess it was just like a normal week. Good week at work, I guess. I don't know. Oh, we did have our district 100-year celebration. So I did that yesterday and we saw all the schools were out there. I got to see some of my other people, but there were people that showed up that were 95 years old and we're from one of the first classes of the district. And I was like, my gosh, like, it was really cool just to see how far the district's come and just seeing all the different faces and the kids. And we did a panorama or bird's eye view picture of everybody in the shape of 100. So I got to be in that picture yesterday.
well, that's
But yeah,
cool.
that was, yeah. So
That
no, it
is
was,
big.
and it was cool just to see, like, you could tell a lot of people were really excited and there were people that were coming in that, like, were schools were named after them. My old school is named Nolan Ryan, and so y'all know he was a former baseball player, and they tried to get him to come, but he was like, "No, I have to go to a college reunion." And they're like, "Wait, what?" They're like, "No, we're having our district 100 year." And he's like, "I wanna go to this one." And we're like, okay, I guess so. But they tried to get him. It was fine. But it was still a great turnout. Everybody had fun. It was warm. I definitely got sun yesterday and was not expecting to get sun, but it's still pretty hot down here.
Well, it's
But
getting
no, it was
chilly
good.
up here. It's sweater weather, sweatshirt weather. We had a fire this weekend. So I miss because we're going on vacation for fall break down in Punta Cana. I'm going to need to somehow get some more sun before that, or I'm going to fry on vacation because I don't have sun anymore. I'm not out. If I'm outside, I'm bundled up because it's getting chillier. So I'm jealous that you guys have that heat. Enjoy it. 'Cause I do love
Well,
this
some of
fall
it down
season,
here.
right? Let's just you guys bring your heat up and I'll take that. So just nice even, right? It's funny though that you mentioned Nolan Ryan because that's kind of goes right along with what I was gonna mention for my week. I can't wait to tell my oldest, you have a school named after him. He got to pitch for the very first time, on his travel ball team on Friday night. So he had a game Thursday night and then one on Friday. And on Thursday, his coach came up to me and he's like, "Hey, can I talk to you?" I'm like, "Oh gosh, yeah." Like what? Thinking, all the worst things go in your head when they come up to say that. He's like, "I really want to pitch Oliver, but I want to wait till the spring." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, that's fine." He's like, "Are you okay with that?" Yeah, like he's 7. He's the little guy on the team. I'm like, that's fine by me. Oliver loves pitching. He loves every position. He just loves baseball, but he always talks about pitching. And he came up and I was like, "You okay with that?" He's like, "Yeah." Then we have all winter to work on it. Well, we're at Friday night's game and we were up 9-0. And the coach comes out to the bleachers and he's like, "Hey, can I put him in?" I was like, "Yeah, that's fine." And so he went out there. He's just this little guy. I mean, he did, he had some balls, but he did strike out 2 kids, walk some, but nerves were shot like anxiety out the roof watching him out there. The pitcher is such an important part. I'm like, just give him things to hit because your team can defend. Just give him ones to hit. And the coach came out at one point and the players huddled up and he's like, "Are you doing okay?" Because he was throwing quite a bit of balls, but he's like, "Coach, those are strikes." And the ump that was in the field was like, some of those were definite strikes that the other ump was calling balls. So I think that kind of got in his head, but he did such a good job and I was so proud of him. He finally got to do it, but we were coming home that night and he was telling his little brother, he's like, "Now listen, I'm gonna need good sleep tonight because I had a busy week. It was a long week and I had my game tonight and I pitched and my arm is probably gonna be tired." And I'm just like dying laughing because, he's so like so dramatic, like, "Oh, it's tired." But then the next day, my mom was watching the boys. My dad was like, "Oh, hey, Nolan." And he was like, "I'm not." Oh, yeah. And then he's like thinking he's tough stuff because, he's the one of the best pitchers and all that. So I'll have to mention it that one of your schools was named after him. He'll think that's so cool.
Tell him this fun fact about Nolan Ryan I found out while I was there because we ran into all sorts of people. And this one woman walks in and she goes, or walks up to this booth I'm at, and she goes, "Did you know that my grandfather was his science teacher in high school?" Because he went to one of our high schools in my district and the original high school. And so he was failing one of the science classes. I couldn't remember if it was biology. And so, in order to make up his grade, he ended up having to paint his science teacher's house to help make up some of the work. I was like, "What? That was a thing back then?" And she's like, "Yep." She's like, "Because he had missed and he was falling behind. In order to make up, he came over and painted his house."
That's
If
crazy.
things were only that easy.
Right?
Right. Yeah. So, yeah. But then I think I told you girls last week that when we were traveling, Hayes, my youngest, had peed in the car. Well, I didn't realize that it went through all the way down to the fabric of my actual seat. So my car, so I think we recorded what that Monday night. That next day, Tuesday, I'm driving to work. I'm like, oh my gosh, it reeks in here. I can't stand this. So we got home that night. I took the car seat out. I soaked the car. I sprayed it with stuff and it still smelled. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to get this out. So I was like, researching what to do. So I did the water vinegar solution and soaked that. And then my car smelled like vinegar because I couldn't get the vinegar smell out. So then I did baking soda over it and then I vacuumed that out. So I'm on round 2 right now of a second cleaning because I can't get this out. I'm going to have to take it somewhere and get it detailed. I haven't put the car seat back in. We've just adjusted seats because the car seat itself also smells like the plastic. Like, because there's probably got into crevices that you can't get. I took all the fabric stuff off, washed that. That's fine. That's been my project of the week is to get this urine smell, vinegar smell out of my car.
So I don't know how things come up on your For You page, but it's either teachers or recipes or cleaning videos. And there's this
I love
guy.
those.
Yes, me too. There's this guy, I think on social media, his name is Joey Fu or something like that. But he is hilarious in his cleaning videos. And I bet if something like that happened in his car, he'd make a video and be cleaning it and researching all the things and doing it. And it would be hilarious. So here's your chance, Allison. Time to make a video of you going through this process and cleaning it. And, like he's a content creator and his content is cleaning. He's like a cleaning content creator. So here's your chance. You're going to go into a new niche.
Try OxyClean. With a lot of
Yeah.
our dog stains, we've had to take OxyClean to it.
Yeah. There's just so many brands out there. Like, some definitely get something that's specific to urine. So I picked something up today and I sprayed that. The minute I got in the car, because I picked up more baking soda for dog odor, as soon as I got to the car after the store, I opened that container and just put it all over the seat so it could just soak. Got home, vacuumed it all up. Then I used the urine spray again. So fingers crossed. I have the windows down in the car in the garage so that it can air out. And then I was trying to air out as we were driving, and the boys were like, "It's cold, Mom." Like, I'm trying to get the smell out as we drive. And I only had it cracked a little bit. It's going to reek if we don't. But, it's just the adventure. Maybe Hayes won't pee in the car anymore. We'll see. So, speaking of funny stories, we're going to put each other a little bit in the hot seat with some would you rather style questions. So, we're going to have questions geared towards mom life, teacher life, and rudder life. And just kind of, would you rather do this or that? And some of them are funny choices or tough choices. So, to start us off, let's do some mom life. Would you rather? And Katie, I know you don't have children yet, but you can still chime in on what you would rather have to experience because I think some of these, no matter what, you can have an answer to. So, the first one, would you rather step on a Lego every day for a week or listen to Baby Shark on repeat for 24 hours?
I'm going to go with the Lego. And I did think about this because I don't actually mind Baby Shark, but I'm going to go with the Lego because then it's a one and done.
Yes, Lego.
Hmm.
Fun fact, one of our schools is sharks and their bell was Baby Shark.
Oh my
And it
gosh.
played every day, the beginning of the day and the end of the day. And they did it for the first 5 years it was open. So imagine being a teacher on that campus, Baby Shark every day, morning and afternoon. I'm like, nope. So Lego. Yeah, you step on it, ouch, ooh, it hurts. You move on. Hmm.
Yeah. Good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. That whole Baby Shark on repeat for 24 hours. I think I would be sensory overload.
Yes.
Next one. Do bedtime solo for a month or make school lunches for a month.
I am totally bedtime solo for a month. I have got the routine down with my younger one. We read, we snuggle, we pray, we're done.
Yeah. I
And with
enjoy
my older
bedtime.
one, it's a little different, but I hate making lunches. I don't even make
Same.
my own. I cook the food,
Nope.
my husband packs it. Yeah.
Yeah. My
I
husband
probably
does
have to
the
agree
lunches.
because my husband's been cooking the entire time we've been together. I know how to cook, but he does a lot of it. So I'll let him keep that.
Yep. My husband does the school lunches every morning. He packs, and I can get myself and the kids, well, myself, he gets the kids up and feeds them breakfast and packs so that I can get ready and get them out the door. So I would rather do bedtime. I like bedtime. I liked them as a
Same.
kid. Bedtimes were just special time. But would you rather have your toddler repeat everything you say or have them ask why after everything you say? Ooh, that's a tough one.
I'm going to go with why, because that's a lot of restraint on myself. And I try to be really good. I do restrain myself. But if he repeated everything that I said, I would just rather explain everything why.
Right?
Because he does. He asks why. And sometimes I'm just like, I don't know. Let's find out.
So
And then
think
that's
that's a
it.
good sign of their curiosity and the more they're asking why, they're wanting to know how things work in life. So I don't mind when they do that. It's only when it's like, I don't want to say stupid stuff, but like, well, why can't we do this? Well, why? Like those are the times that drive me crazy. It's when they ask, why do we have to go to bed? Why do we have to do this? Why? Those are the ones that I'm like, because I said so. Don't question it.
So my sister, she fosters two in addition to her three. And one of the ones she fosters, he does the why a lot. Well, why? Well, why? And there'll be occasions where I'll be over there and I'll watch him and stuff. And I guess the why just doesn't phase me. And I can see my sister get so irritated. She's like, I am so sick and tired of him asking why. He just needs to do it. And I'm like, I don't know. It's just, maybe that's the teacher in me. I'm just like, okay, cool. Why? Sure. Let's move on. I'm used to kids asking, well, why this? Well, why that? Because we're
Yeah.
doing it. Because I said so.
Yeah.
Yeah. That doesn't surprise me that we all said that.
Yeah. All right. Would you rather survive a road trip with no snacks or survive a road trip with no iPads? I would
No
rather
iPads.
go no iPads.
Yeah.
We can find ways to entertain.
Mm-hmm.
You have to feed them.
Yeah. 100%. We play the game of like the ABC game. Okay, what do you see? That's A. What do you see?
Yes.
That's B. We sing songs. We do it. Like
Mhm.
there's so many things that we
Or
can
I
do.
spy.
Yes. Yes. And I think back to like when iPads are so easy and they're great. We've used them on planes. We have used them in the car before, but we didn't have them. I remember going on a road trip and I was like, I'm going to bring this Babysitter's Club book and I'm going to bring this coloring book and I'm going to bring this and
Mm-hmm.
that and this. And I was still bored, but it is so good to be bored. But it is
Yes.
not good to be hangry.
Yes, even as adults, you need to have
Mhm.
snacks.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
And there's
plenty of
always
games.
a car wash vacuum to clean out the crumbs.
Yeah.
That's a good one, though.
Yeah. All right. Would you rather only get 1 hour of sleep a night or never have coffee again? Ooh, that's so tough.
That one's really hard. Because y'all, we tried to go out last night with friends, and at 9:30 I was done. I was like,
Yeah.
"Mm-mm." My
Mhm.
husband's like, "Well, they still wanna go here," and I was like, "Fine, I'll drop you off to go there with them, but I'm going home." I value my sleep so much,
Mm-hmm.
but I love coffee.
I know. I think I'd rather never have coffee again because my body's not going to function on 1 hour of sleep. No amount of
No.
coffee is going to even help me function on just 1 hour of sleep. And what that would do to your
Mhm.
mental health
Mhm.
and your stability. I can find other ways to get energy that's not coffee. As much as that would suck, because I do love coffee and the flavor of coffee. Nope. Nothing says you can't have coffee flavored. Just says never have coffee again.
Just said coffee.
Find a way around. Yeah,
Find the
I think
loophole.
I think I would rather never have coffee again. Yeah.
I just feel like we can probably make better decisions without coffee because coffee's a drug, right? So you can give up a drug and you're going to have that detox, but you're never going to have a detox from little sleep. And it's worse than being drunk. The types
For
of
sure.
decisions that you can make. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. And it's not very often that I'm sleep deprived because I'm a really good sleeper, but decisions.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
My body starts to ache. If I don't have enough sleep, I just start to hurt. I will never forget when we went 3 years ago. My husband and I traveled out for spring break out to Arizona, and our flights were delayed. And we flew into Las Vegas because I had never been to Las Vegas. We're like, well, let's fly into Las Vegas. We'll have a night there. We can go out to the area a little bit. I can experience it. And then the next day we were driving to, I can't remember what our first location was in Arizona that we were doing because we were doing a lot of hiking. But with all of our delays, and then we had to wait forever at the rental car, it was probably 1 a.m. before we even got to the hotel. And I told my husband, I have to go to bed. I can't go explore. I was aching. I was miserable. I just can't function.
Was that the only time that you've been to Vegas?
Mm-hmm. And I didn't even get to experience it. He
And
even
then you
like,
didn't get to explore?
no, because we were leaving early the next day on a very tight schedule to go from one place to the next to do all of our hiking and exploring. But I felt bad because my husband booked a decent hotel for us to be able to explore, and we didn't even get to do that. That was really annoying.
We got married in Vegas.
Fun.
No way.
It was a destination wedding. Elvis did not marry us. We didn't go to the drive-through chapel or anything. But I we got married over our spring break, and I was teaching second grade at the time, and I had a very difficult class. But I didn't want to delay us getting married, so I was like, let's get married over spring break. You know, it was a year after we had gotten engaged. I said, Vegas is easy because you do everything through them. And I didn't even do the planning. I didn't really care. And so we picked out invitations online and sent them out. And then we just did everything. Actually, it was all through fax. My husband faxed everything. He was not a teacher at the time. He worked for a park district. So he was in an office job and he like printed stuff out. I don't even know why it wasn't online. We only got married in 2014. I don't know, but he like faxed everything in. I don't know. All the menu, all the decisions were made just by that. So anyhow,
That's hilarious.
we got married in Vegas.
I have a really good Vegas story, but I never want to go back. I'm traumatized by my Vegas trip.
No,
Is this a story I should tell?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Is it worse than the porter potty?
How about like getting catfished by an Airbnb and then having to find okay, so now I have to get into this. So we were going for my husband used to do a lot of meal prep before he worked at the shoe store. And he had a client who had this massive bodybuilding show in Vegas and it was huge. Like people fly in from all over the nation for this show. And we said, no, we want to go support him. He's one of my husband's OG clients. He still preps for him to this day. Like my husband let most of his clients go, but he's kept this guy and we're close with him. You know, we'll travel anywhere with this guy. And we said, yeah, we'll travel with you and Omar will cook for him. And he's like, okay. And so I start, I was the person in charge of the travel. So I got the plane tickets and then I looked for Airbnbs. Well, I'd never been to Vegas before. And so I was like, I Airbnb it everywhere. Like, that's what I'm going to do. I don't need to stay in a hotel. And I needed a kitchen. So I find this one and there's no pictures of the outside of the building, which probably should have been like my first indicator of like, don't do it. But the inside looked fine. And I was like, okay, it'll be okay. And so I was also trying to be very frugal with this trip. And so instead of flying a normal airline, I booked with Frontier. Don't do that. It was the worst decision ever. So we get to the airport and our flight gets delayed till like 1 a.m. We didn't land in Vegas till like 4 a.m. And so at this point, we're like, okay, now we got to take an Uber from the airport to our Airbnb. And so we give him the address and he goes through the strip and then he gets to this really dark, sketchy area. And I was like, wait, what? And the guy's like, this is it. And Omar and I are looking at each other like, where are we? And so it's this like apartment complex thing. We walk into it and you can like smell all the things. And I'm like, okay. And so we go and press the code on the door and we go in. Inside looked fine. And Omar goes, okay, we're just going to get a few hours of sleep and then we're going to reassess the situation in the morning. And we wake up, we look outside when it's like light outside. And we're pretty sure like there was a drug deal going on, like downstairs, the apartment, like catty corner to where we were at, because it was a two-story complex. And I was like, yeah, no, we're not staying here. So we cooked his meals. We cooked all of his meals in the kitchen and we said, okay, we have to find a hotel. So sure enough, Treasure Island was a mile and a half away. So Treasure Island's like, they were honestly cheapest we could find. We knew they were going to be great. So we ended up staying at Treasure Island. Fast forward to leaving. We get back to the airport. Delay. 30 minutes before we were supposed to board the plane or the plane was supposed to take off. And they're like, oh, yep, we canceled it. What? Flight was canceled. At this point, it was like 9 o'clock at night. And I was like, this Vegas trip can't get any worse. We had the Catfish Hotel with drug deals going on. We got delayed getting here and then we're delayed going back. And so they canceled our flight altogether. And we're like, what do you want? Oh, well, I guess we'll send you money in like 6 weeks. You can apply here to get your money back. And I was like, wait, you mean I have to put more things on a credit card I wasn't planning to put on the credit card? So then we book our flight back the next morning. It was our first flight United had out. We're like, fine, we're flying United. And we had two other friends who were there with us who were same flight, same thing happened. And they were like, we're just trying to get home. So sure enough, we called Treasure Island back and they were like, we actually have a room. And I'm like, great, let us have a room back. I have no inclination to go back anytime soon. Worst airline. It was just horrendous. And I know that's not everybody's Vegas experience, but that was just mine. And it happened probably like 4.5 years ago. And I still have no inclination to go back.
Oh my gosh, I would feel that trauma, but
Yeah.
I still love Vegas and I still wanna go back. So
Maybe I'll
maybe
give it a chance again, but not yet.
maybe fly American or United, book a hotel room, and then you can experience Vegas during the day. You don't have to stay up all night. It's fun. We are now moving on to teacher life. Would you rather? So this should be really good. Would you rather have a class that never stops talking or a class that never participates?
Not talking, like stops talking. Like I'll take the class that doesn't stop talking. I can't have a class that doesn't participate. That would drive me crazy. I've had classes that just talk endlessly and I can
Yeah.
get past that. It's the never wanting to participate.
So there's a thing that I always think about that if you are too loud, you can get softer. But if you're unwilling to do anything, then there's not a lot that someone else can do to get you to do something. So at least if a class is talking, you can steer them on the right path to talking about something that is on topic as opposed to a kid unwilling to talk. So I agree. I would go with a class that never stops talking.
That's a hard one because I feel like it drives me crazy when they don't stop talking. I think that's because I can't focus when I'm doing small groups or teaching. And I think that's my undiagnosed ADHD that kicks in. It's just like I can't, like when there's too much going around. But I also struggle when they're not participating or it's the same kids participating and not everybody. I'm just like, come on, guys, I'm gonna need your feedback. I'm gonna need you to talk. So that's a really hard one. But I do see what you're saying, like, you can always get them quieter down versus pull it out of them.
Okay,
Yeah.
next one. Would you rather have indoor recess every day for a month or cafeteria duty every day for a month?
I'll take cafeteria duty all day because I used to
Mhm.
have it every day for the last 3 years. So I guess I'm used to it. And
Yeah.
they're both overstimulating on noise. So I guess it's just
See,
like which one you want to take.
it doesn't say indoor recess duty. So, like, when we have indoor recess, we don't have to be in there. Our noon monitors are in our room. So I can still be in the teacher's lounge. Granted, the kids are more stimulated coming off that high from indoor recess. Like, they need to be outside, but I don't, I can get away from it during indoor recess. I do think cafeteria duty would be fun because then you could interact with the kids on a different level. You can actually socialize and talk to them about life versus in the classroom when most of your conversations are all about what we're teaching in the moment. So I don't think that would be bad either.
Hate indoor recess. And we do have recess with them here at in my district now, but hate indoor recess. I think that as a teacher, we have to give them games and, do different things. And I know there's a lot of creative ways to help them, be occupied, but I just don't have that creativity in me after planning everything else during the day. And I feel like we actually we're almost going to have teachers be in the cafeteria with their students during lunch every day, as opposed to being with them during recess. And so I would have chosen that because then all the crazy stuff that happens in the cafeteria would be resolved really quickly because I would be there to resolve it as opposed to our awesome cafeteria monitors, but they don't know the kids. So when they say, well, these two kids were running around the cafeteria, they look at me with blank faces and they're like, no, I didn't, but I wasn't in there. And there's probably 200 kids in the cafeteria at a time with 4 monitors. And so I would much rather be in the cafeteria with them every day to resolve any issues and have recess to myself.
Now I'm really curious because you said you have to go out with their recess, right? So how long do you actually get for lunch?
So right now we have 20 minutes for recess, 30 minutes for lunch, but it would have been flipped so that we would still get our 30-minute lunch period and they would get 30 minutes of recess because they don't need 30 minutes of lunch. They
No,
really
they
don't. They
don't.
need 20 minutes because they're there to eat. Like, and that's it. But they would get longer recess and we wouldn't be out there with them. So it wouldn't mess up our contractual lunchtime. That was the idea, but our whole admin had changed over this year so that it didn't get carried over. But we just wanted to resolve more issues in the lunchroom, mainly for the older kids who were
Mhm.
getting into it.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, it was
Totally
bad.
get that.
It was bad. But yeah, I don't know what it's like in the lunchroom this year, but I also don't have older kids anymore. Let's move on to a runner.
Okay, so I like some of these. Okay, so this one's good, but I already feel like I know what we're all going to answer. All right, so forget your sports bra on a long run or forget your earbuds.
Earbuds.
100% forget your earbuds. I mean,
I could
we
not.
need support here.
I don't
Yes.
have any and I have
I don't same. I don't have a lot either, but I still need that sports bra.
right? Like there's
I
something
do, and I need it.
I would be so uncomfortable.
And I have forgot my earbuds. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
For
who doesn't? Why? Yeah. I
I don't
feel like
know.
that one was pretty easy.
Sometimes there's like built-in like tank tops where you have like a built-in bra, but
Mhm.
I also run with other people and so we're talking and even when I'm on my own, like and I bring my phone, I just play it and I don't care who's listening.
yeah.
Okay. So, PR in a race, but no photos to prove it, or have tons of photos, but finish last.
Because
Mm.
I could care less about my race photos. There's other ways to prove it without a photo.
I
Oh.
do love a good race photo, but during COVID, there were so many like little things that we did, like virtual races, that there was nobody there to take a picture. Like we just said, hey, we ran this, and that was our proof, and our Garmin, or we
Mhm.
weren't using Strava yet, but yeah, I think I'd rather take the PR.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. For years, and I still haven't gotten, I've been chasing a sub 2 hour half, and I would know if I did it, and that would be good enough.
Train for a marathon on only a treadmill or on only hills.
I think you all know my answer. Definitely the treadmill because that's
I
what I'm
think
used to.
you're used to the treadmill.
I can do the treadmill. I hate hills. I hate hills.
So I like hill training for marathons because I think it makes you a stronger runner.
It does.
So, yes, I would be going up and down hills, but like, what would it do for my running? Like, I think if I did that and then If I did the chevron, chevron's pretty flat. I trained on hills and then came down here and did this, I'd be flying through that. I think I'll take hills.
That's what I was gonna say. Although we don't have any hills here, we just have bridges.
Same.
Yeah. No hills. It just our elevation. And once I ran a half that had 3 bridges, and the first one was fine, the second one was okay, and the third one was awful. So I hate hills. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. We used to have in our run group up north, we would do hills, but our hill was in a reservoir. Like, is that what it's called? Like a water reservoir, so that the town doesn't flood. They make a reservoir. So we would go to the bottom of that, and then it's like where we all went sledding too. And we would run up and then walk back down and do hill repeats. So it sucked at the time, but it definitely did help with running. I think I've gotten weaker since I've gotten here because there's no hills to do it.
Yeah.
And like the bigger bridges are too far away from me that I'm not willing
Yeah.
to drive to go
Yeah.
do it.
We have here called the Bridge Series, and there are bridges like stationed around anywhere between 30 to 45 minutes away from me. And so part of the Bridge Series is there's a 5K or a 10K, and it happens, I think it started this month and it goes through November. And so you have a race September, October, and November, and it's 3 to 4 bridges, and they're pretty intense bridges. And for a while, my half PR was on that last Bridge Series. It was a half marathon. And I was like, who just goes out and PRs on this bridge was huge. I don't know how it doesn't hold my PR anymore, but it held my PR for 2.5 years. I was like, this is crazy, but I don't know. I don't know what got in me that day, but that big bridge had my PR.
Instantly impressed.
Right?
I don't think I could do it today. No.
There is a
Yeah.
race here. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's called like the Skyway K or something, but the Skyway Bridge is this huge bridge going into Tampa, and it's tall enough so that cruise ships can go underneath it. And they obviously they close it off, but they
I
start
know
it.
exactly what you're talking about.
Okay, so you like what's supposed to happen is when you get to the top of the bridge, it's sunrise, and um, I have it's a lottery to get in because everyone wants to do it. So one year I am going to do it, but yeah, that bridge, even driving up it, I'm not nervous of heights or anything, but driving up it, just it's steep. That would not be like you're racing. That would be just a fun thing to do. But yeah, I never realized how big that bridge was until I found out that cruise ships go underneath it.
Nice. So while we're talking about running, I totally forgot to mention this in our catch up of the week. I got to go out and run with the running club kids this week. I had a night where I didn't have to take the boys anywhere right away. And so I was able to go out like with the group that I used to coach. And I didn't tell anybody. And so when I was walking out, the other coach that I always coached with was like, well, look who is here. And all the kids were like, yeah. It just melted my heart. A lot of fourth and fifth graders that I had worked with the last couple of years, they're like, can you run with our group today? Can you run with our group? And I was like, yeah. And it literally that would have been my highlight for the week. And I can't believe I didn't think about that at the beginning of us sharing because I could just go out and I could run with the kids and I could enjoy it. I wasn't micromanaging because I wasn't like the coach. So I wasn't having to like plan anything. I could just go out and run with them. It was so much fun getting to just do that. And I didn't feel like a fraud anymore because I was able to still come to a practice with them. So it was so much fun.
That was so fun to be able to get to know each other a little bit more with the Would You Rathers. And we were so excited to share our experiences, but we would love if you emailed us at espresso yourself podcast girls@gmail.com with any of your Would You Rathers for moms, teachers, or runners.
Thanks for sipping and sharing a moment with us today. We can't wait to keep showing up with you each week. Messy, caffeinated, and real.
And if you liked what you heard, we'd be so grateful if you'd follow, subscribe, or share this with your teacher, bestie, mom group chat, or training partner. or all three. It helps more people find our little corner of chaos and connection.
And don't forget to connect with us on Instagram at Espresso Yourself Podcast. Tell us what resonated, share your own stories, what topics you want us to cover, or just come say hi.
Make sure to hit follow so you don't miss next week's episode.
Until next time,
Keep showing up.
Keep giving yourself grace.
And espresso yourself.
one
Sip
sip
at
at
a
a time.
time. Cheers.